All right, hello, and welcome to remote learning. So, this is not something that I expected that I would be doing. I'm sure it's not what you were expecting at the beginning of this year either, but circumstances are requiring that this is how things need to be for the foreseeable future. So, we're just going to roll with it and make the best of this situation. First and foremost, I just want to say that I really hope that everybody is happy, healthy, and just in a good place mentally and emotionally right now. I know there's a lot of crazy things that you've been seeing on the news or around your families or whatever it may be. And I just hope that you're finding time to relax and take a break from all of that information overload. I also apologize for any lack of communication on my end. It's been difficult for me to keep up with this constantly changing situation and best plan for how to reach you all effectively. But I'm hoping that today, this little video that I'm going to present is going to hopefully explain what you can expect moving forward. Okay, so before we move forward, I just want to communicate some of my goals. I don't believe that this really rough situation needs to have a negative impact on your musical development. So I put together just a few goals for myself to keep myself centered in this whole process. The first of which is just creating a virtual environment where all of you can not just survive this situation, but thrive in it, continue to develop, and continue to get better and improve as a musician. I'm also hoping to provide some opportunities for you all to engage with one another through some online resources, just so that we don't lose that community aspect that is so important with any band program. I'm also hoping to improve my own understanding of online resources. As a first year teacher, there are a lot of things that they tell you, there are a lot of things they don't, and this situation is certainly not something that I was ever prepared to do. So hopefully throughout the course of this, I can add to my kind of toolbox of resources that I can use to deliver, at the end of the day, a high quality music education experience despite this circumstances. Like I said, I don't believe that we need to just kind of throw in the towel on having a productive rest of the year. On this slide, you'll see what you're going to need for the coming time while we're doing remote learning. Your equipment from Montville High School, a Google account, the Zoom Office app, and any metronome. First things first, you're going to need to get your equipment. Montville High School will be open Monday, March 23rd from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. When you arrive, you can ask Ms. Sangermano or Mr. Alves to open the band room if it's not already unlocked. Percussionists, you are going to have the opportunity to sign out drum pads. There's going to be a Google form that I'll ask everybody to complete at the end of this video where you can indicate whether or not you need to borrow one. With that information, I will send you a rental agreement that you and your folks can look at and acknowledge, and I'll also assign you a pad number. Wind musicians, you can find supplies that I've laid out for you on top of the piano. For reed people, I've included 2 reeds per person. For brass people, you've got valve oil or slide cream, whatever it is. Your supplies are in line with a sticky note with your name on it, so there shouldn't be too much confusion as what is intended for you. I really encourage everybody to stop by the school on Monday and just check to make sure they've got everything that they need. My primary way of interacting with all of you over this extended closure is going to be through Google Classroom and Google accounts in general. I'm not entirely familiar with how this works on your end, but if you're watching this video, that means that you've figured it out. Please check in with your friends to make sure that they are able to do this as well. I believe that the email that I have written on this slide is basically what email you need to log into Google with to make it work. Once you've done that, you got to join the following classrooms with these classroom codes. Again, if you're watching this video at this point, you figured this out. However, I want to emphasize the importance of making sure that you're in that one MHS instrumental music classroom. This is going to be where I send out all of my department-wide updates and little tidbits of information for everybody. So definitely make sure that you're in that as well as your individual classroom. While I'm hoping to minimize any required live chatting between myself and any of you, I'd also like you to download the Zoom Office app. You don't need to make an account. You'll just need to select the join meetings, which I'll get into a little bit later on as we start to settle into things. I'd recommend downloading this app on your phone. Really what this is going to be for is any opportunities for lessons or troubleshooting with your instrument that you may need. I can do that in real time if I need to. And again, I'm not going to be requiring this if that's something you're not comfortable with doing a live face-to-face meeting, but it is something that I want you to have as an option in case something goes wrong or you just need some help with something. Having a metronome is going to be key to finding success as an independent musician. Everybody should already have a metronome, but if you don't, now is the time to find one. Luckily, Google has made this very easy. If you just type metronome into Google and search, there will be an in-browser metronome that just pops up. No download required, and you can use that to set your beats per minute and practice along with that. If you have a smartphone, my favorite metronome app is Metronome Pro. This is really great. It's free. There are a ton of different functions that you can experiment with to get the most out of it, and I definitely recommend checking that out. Your first assignments are, if you're watching this, already done. You found this video in Google Classroom and you've watched it. Fantastic. The next thing I need you to do is check out that Google form that's in the Google Classroom folder and finish that. That's going to let me know where you're at right now in this transition to remote learning. The final assignment for right now is going to be to stop by MHS on Monday, March 23rd between 9 and 3 to pick up equipment. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to just stop by, even if you're not sure if you need anything. Just stop in really quick and check to make sure you've got everything. It's going to be tricky to get into the school moving forward. Doable, but not ideal. The focus of this coming week is going to be on ensuring that everyone is prepared for the official start of remote learning on Monday, March 30th. Rental forms for those borrowing drum pads are going to need to be returned to me with some sort of parental acknowledgement. This is probably going to come in the form of your parent just emailing me the form back saying that they have seen it and agree with it. I'm also going to be presenting some new resources. Things like Google Hangouts are definitely something that I'm going to be looking into, and perhaps more. I'm going to be emailing and assigning new assignments through Google Classroom on Wednesday and Friday that have to do with these resources. These are going to be simple preparation tasks, basically, that'll ask you to interact with the resources that we're going to use. Once we start remote learning on Monday, March 30th, there are a few things that you can expect from me and from this experience in general. First things first, there's going to be some mistakes. I've never done this before. You've never done this before. I don't expect you to be perfect, and I hope that you don't expect me to be perfect either. We're going to work through this, we're going to learn together, and we're going to make this the best that we can. But there's definitely going to be some mistakes along the way. Just be honest with me and yourself, and I'll do the same with you. Weekly warm-up videos. These are just going to be maybe 5-10 minute videos where I take you through some of the exercises that we would normally do in class. You'll be able to follow along or just listen to them separately from your instrument just to get some ideas. I'll also be looking for daily practice reflections. I'm going to be asking for these to be completed each day you would have had a class meeting. And these are just going to have some questions about what you worked on, what challenges you encountered, how you feel you improved, and how you feel you can want to continue to improve. Lastly, I'll probably be looking for some sort of weekly audio or video assignment. This is going to be me assigning a section of music and you having to record yourself playing and sending it back to me either through email or through one of our Google Classroom folders. I haven't figured out exactly how that's going to work, but that's what this next week in between now and the start of remote learning is going to be for. While the previous slide contains some ideas which you are guaranteed to see over the course of this remote learning, some other ideas that I have which I can't quite guarantee yet, but I'm hoping to bring to you, you can find below. The first of these is guest artist masterclasses. I have a lot of friends around the state who are really incredible instrumentalists, improvisers, composers, arrangers, and I think I'll be able to bring you some really great content of me asking them some questions that you've provided and having them answer and play their instruments and to show you what an incredible musician looks like
on some different instruments in some different areas of music. I'm also hoping to bring you some opportunities for live lessons with me through the Zoom app. These would be free 10 to 15-minute lessons, not required, but it would give me the opportunity to give you some immediate feedback on your instrument, despite the fact that we're not together in a classroom. I'm also looking into opportunities to create in new ways. There are some really cool things that people have done with remote musicianship in the past, connecting over the internet through GarageBand or other apps to create some really amazing things. And I don't think that that is too far fetched of an idea for us to work through.
To wrap things up, this is obviously not an ideal situation. I would much rather be teaching from a physical classroom. However, this is the situation we found ourselves in, and we've got to make the best of it. Hopefully, the slideshow that you just watched shows that I'm working toward this, and I hope that all of you are also not just giving up on your education for the rest of the year. There's definitely some potential to get a lot of really good things done. It's just going to take a little bit of flexibility, patience, and hard work. But I know that we can make this happen together. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions, please send me an email at aschmidt@montvilleschools.org. Stay healthy, and I'll talk to you soon.